Okay. So yesterday we started with this idea. What shape is this called? Starts with a P. Parabola. What's this spot here called? The vertex. What's this imaginary line that divides it in half called? Axis of symmetry. What's this spot where it crosses the y-axis called? The y-intercept. Okay, those are the pieces that we're trying to find. And what you can do with the y-intercept is reflect it over the axis of symmetry to get a third point. So that's the last piece we really didn't finish off from yesterday. Just reflect that y-intercept over the axis of symmetry. Now, again, as you guys decide to put your note card together for the test, these are things that could be helpful for you on your note card. Okay, those could be helpful for you on your note card. So, but that is a responsibility that you will take on yourself. But I will try to help you with the things that would be helpful for you. We good with that? So was the note card a 3x5? Was it half sheet paper? What was it? 3x5. So should I get some for you guys? Yeah. Okay. All right. I know it's a great place called Wally World. You buy anything there. Okay. So let's try two problems together then. We tried A and B yesterday. Let's do C. We start with the easy things. Let's start with the easy stuff. What's the easy thing to figure out here? Direction. What's the direction? It is down. Why is the direction down? Because I got a negative 1/3 out front. Awesome. So we got that figured out. What's another thing that's easy to figure out? The shape. Sonny, you are 100% correct. Why is the shape wide as opposed to narrow or normal? It's less than 1. Notice we have 1/3. If you have numbers like 1/3 or 1/8 or 2/7 out in front, those are going to make narrow shapes. Whereas if you have numbers out front like 9 or 2 or 15 or -12, those are numbers where the absolute value is greater than 1. And that's, well, I'm sorry, I messed that up, right? Those make a wide shape. These make a narrow shape. So if it's a big number, it makes narrow. If it's number smaller than 1, it makes it wide. So this is a wide shape. A wide shape. Okay? If it's just 1 or -1, we say it's just normal. Just normal. Okay? All right, there's another thing up here that's easy for us to find. What is it? Super easy. Staring us right in the face. Y-intercept is 1. It's that guy on the end. So there's 3 things you should be able to tell right away without having to do much else. We all good? Okay, now we're going to do the difficult one. What's the formula for finding the vertex? Negative b divided by 2a. That's something you got to have on that note card eventually, right? So what's my b value? -2. So I'm going to make it negative, and I get +2 divided by 2 times -1/3. Now, I'm going to say that I believe that 50% of people would get that wrong if we did that on the test. So if you don't have a calculator, maybe grab one from that back table there or share one with an individual that's sitting around you. But I want to make sure that we get this correct, okay? I'm going to take 2 and divide it by 2 times -1/3. And you got to be careful how you do this. 2 divided by, see how I have more than one thing in the bottom? So you have to put a parenthesis around that. Parenthesis. 2 times -1/3. Do you see how I enter that? I've got 2 divided by, and I have to put parentheses around everything that sits in the denominator. Press enter, and we get -3. So that means that the x value of our vertex is -3. I believe that many people would make that mistake when they get the fraction on the test of how that works out. So please make sure you verify with your calculator, get it right. What do we do with that -3 now to get to get this value right here? We plug it into the function. So I express it just like it is. -1/3 parentheses. Wherever I see an x, I plug a -3 into that spot. -3 parentheses squared. -2 times negative 3 plus 1. 4. Everybody good with that? Let's start graphing it. Negative 3, 4. Back 3 and up 4. I have a y-intercept of 1. I have an axis of symmetry that divides it directly in half. A for the day. Who can remember what the equation for that axis of symmetry is? Close. X equals negative 3. Make sure you don't write it just as a number. Write x equals because it's actually an equation for a line. It's not a point, it's a line. And so we write the equation. How do I get the third point? Reflect this guy over, and it's going to come right over here. And so that's negative 6, positive 1. Cool. And there's our shape. Folks, I need to engage you. Do you remember doing this a little bit in 9th grade? Okay. So tell me, what do you think is the most challenging part about the process for you? Is it the vertex? Negative b divided by 2a? Okay. So that's a super key piece you always got to make sure is there with you. Do you know the quadratic formula? Do you guys remember this? You've seen it before, but you don't necessarily recall it, correct? Well, we're gonna do that later on in the year, and if you notice, there's a negative b over 2a in that, isn't there? See, it's sitting right there all the time. So that negative b over 2a comes up again and again. So just forget that. We'll get back to that at some point. Just try to remember what you remember, what you don't. So very good. Okay, last example, then you guys will have time to work, okay? All right, so again, you guys lead me through it. Easy stuff to figure out right away. Is up. Shape is narrow. I've got a 4 sitting in front. If it's bigger than 1, it's going to draw it closer together. As JJ said yesterday, it's going to stretch it vertically. That's going to bring it closer together, make it narrow, okay? That's good. And then what's the other one to find, easy? Yeah, y-intercept is negative 5. So I think that those 3 everybody can get right away. Like you can look at those and we can have everybody. That's a way for me on the test to say, hey, these are easy points for you. I want to get you these easy points right away. Okay, so vertex. Negative b divided by 2a. Negative b divided by 2a. Gotta do that guy. So what does that become? That becomes positive 4 divided by 2 times 4. Now, that one, maybe you don't plug it into your calculator. You say that's 4 over 8, which is a half. So the vertex is 1/2 for the x value. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I work with fractions, I make mistakes sometimes. And I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator. And whenever you plug in that 1/4, you just do 1 divided by 4. So I do the same equation, 4, but wherever I see an x, I put a parenthesis, and I put a 1 over 4 in that place. Squared. Minus 4, parentheses, 1 over 4, minus 5. Press enter. Negative 5.75. Oh, yep, thank you. Second entry will bring this all back for me, and I can go back and change the 4s to 2s. I was wondering about that because I thought I should come up with a whole number. -6. Is that better? -6. 6 times 4 is 24. 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 Good catch. I make mistakes every day. Okay, I plot that. 1/2 -6. Axis of symmetry, x equals 1/2. Good. The third point. So first I got to take this y-intercept, which is -5. I'm going to put that guy right there. And then it's kind of tough to see, but I reflect it right over there. What's that coordinate? 1, -5. See, that one definitely makes some more narrow value than the others. My voice coming through the speakers right now? Sorry about that. I didn't mean for that to happen. But that's disrupting you. I feel like I'm on stage. You know what I mean? Okay, there you go. So, should I start rapping? I'm a really good rapper. Oh, you don't believe me? You looked at me like you're not a rapper, Mr. Gentz. All right, fine. You and me, we're gonna challenge. Rap off. Me and Kitty Lee. All right, there you go. So, take so you got your packet here. Okay, you can rip the second page off. That's your worksheet. There's 8 problems. You choose 6. You choose 6. You don't have to do all 8. You choose 6. Okay. Now, you're given, you guys, if you look at it, it's a half an hour of time, right? That's a lot of time. Basically, everybody should be able to get this assignment done during that time. You get it done, you can turn it into the box. I'm going to show you which box you turn it into. I'm going to come around and help you. But this assignment is technically due to be handed in by Tuesday. So you're right on the top, due Tuesday. I want it by Tuesday. You handed it earlier? Great.